This time on KEI Fabrication.
So I'm just putting a little bit of tension on it to get it started. Hide all the women and children. Hide all the women and children. Hide all the women and children. All the grinding's done. Time to clean the garage. Well folks, I just came back from the scrapyard. So I ran up to the scrapyard. Well, we're up here at the junkyard. Well, we're back in the junkyard. Alright folks, so I've got the press set up here, and I'm just putting a little heat into the axle flange just to help the pressing in process go just a slightly bit. This will probably heat this up to like 400 degrees or something like that. So just to get it to grow a tiny bit, and then we'll go ahead and start pressing the studs in. I made up this press tool here. This is a piece of Schedule 40 black iron pipe. I put it in the lathe to square up both ends. It's plenty long enough so when I push down it won't bottom out on the stud. And what I'm really trying to do is to keep that pressure point as close to the diameter of the hole as possible. So this is sized just about right, so everything that comes through the flange, this will slide over. So if I use something too large, I stand a chance of distorting this flange, and between the heat and using a fairly close diameter press bushing, I should be able to eliminate any possibility for distorting the flange. So I've been heating this up for a few minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and try and press it. Yep, that's definitely toasty. So I'm just putting a little bit of tension on it to get it started. I've got a shim over here that kind of kept the flange at the same level as the stud before it started entering. And now I'm going to go ahead and remove this because I've got a little bit of tension on the on this. So now there's a gap all the way around, and now I'm truly just applying pressure to the flange to get the wheel stud to go in. So I'm running at about it's all the way in now. So it was somewhere around 5,000 pounds of force on the flange. I'm just going to go a little bit more to really seat that stud. So that worked really well. Very happy with that setup. So I'll just keep rotating this around, go through the same process. go. Fully installed. I've got to drop this cross beam down in order to let the axle escape to swing out of here. So again, all these little press tools just kind of sit up here, and whenever I can, I try and qualify the ends of them so they're perpendicular to the direction of pressing, and everything just sits up here. Someday I got to build a bin for all these things to go on, because as you get more aggressive with things, or something jumps or pops, a lot of this stuff, sometimes the press shakes and it all hits the floor. So anyway, that's that. Hey folks, I know I showed you folks that I was doing an axle for the passenger side, and I put new studs in the axle because it came without them. However, I found the combination I was looking for slicks and rims, and what I discovered is that 10-inch wide rims with a 6.5-inch rear back spacing fit on this truck with the frame rail, the spring, and the inner fender well in the bed all in their stock location, and it fits perfectly well with the outside of the wheel well. However, I need longer wheel studs, and I got to run a 1/2-inch spacer to push the tire away from the inner fender well. The frame and the leaf spring are actually good. It's the inner fender well that's the problem. So I went ahead and I ordered what I thought was the correct studs for this axle and this platform, and I thought I did the appropriate amount of research, but what I found is that the knurl on the Ford Explorer axle, which was supposed to be the same as Mustang and all of those things, is different. I believe what Mosier expects you to do is drill the axle flange out so it will receive the larger knurl. I'm kind of trying to decide whether I really want to do that or not. So it's not that I don't think I'm capable. What I'm going to do is see if I can find a set of the 3-inch long studs with the proper knurl. They may not make them because the knurl is so small, it may not be enough of a situation where it's going to resist the increased torque of a high-powered vehicle. So they may not make them because they know that they're going to fail, and I may have no choice than to drill the hole in the axle flange to receive the larger knurl. So anyway, I was going to do that today. I was going to take the rear end apart, put the studs in both axles, but right now I'm going to hold off on it just until I confirm that they may not even be available with this size knurl for this size wheel stud. If you folks have any information on that, I'd appreciate it if you want to leave a comment and point me in the right direction.
Next time on KEI Fabrication.
Okay folks, so what I have is just a quick point of information here. As I mentioned, I bought this wire cutting tool just this week, and this is made by the same company. I got it from the same company, Tempco, off of eBay. This is the device that if you're on the road or in the field somewhere, you can just smack the anvil with a hammer and it'll crimp it.